For many non-Muslims and even Muslims, the term 5 pillars of Islam may be one of the first things that comes to mind when we think of the Islamic faith. So what are these pillars anyways? What is the purpose and where did they come from? Hey guys, welcome back to FTD Facts. My name is Leroy Kenton, and in this episode we got a lot to cover. So before we jump into the facts, I got a question for you guys. What are some of your daily rituals? Like, it doesn't have to be like a religious ritual or anything, just things that you do regularly on a daily basis that you have to incorporate in your daily life, like going to the gym, reading 10 pages of a book, whatever. It could be anything. Let me know down below. Okay, so starting off at number 10, the ritual obligation of Muslims are called 5 pillars. Now, what's the purpose of the pillars? The pillars are important acts of worship that develop the Muslim character and strengthen it in the faith of Islam. Among the majority of Muslims, it is agreed upon that it has been commanded by Allah to carry out these duties and to follow the example of the Prophet Muhammad in the manner they perform these duties. According to abukadija.com, the importance of the pillars can be remembered by spelling out the acronym RUSH. So check it out. The R stands for remind. They remind Muslims about the teachings of Islam. U is for unite. They unite Muslims and strengthen links between them as they worship only Allah and follow the example of the Prophet Muhammad. Then there's S, which stands for support. So the pillars support the development of consciousness of Allah and taqwa, or devotion of Him. And finally, there's H, and that stands for help, because the pillars help Muslims to put Allah first in everything that they do. So now that we looked at the purpose of the pillars, the next thing naturally is to look at what the pillars actually are. So first up, there is Shahada, and that means faith. The most basic requirement of being a Muslim is to publicly state the words, "There is no God but Allah and Muhammad is His messenger," in Arabic, with sincerity. Now, this testament is the foundation for all other beliefs and practices in Islam. To become a Muslim, a non-Muslim must repeat the Shahada 3 times in the presence of witnesses. Next up is Salah, which is prayer. Salah refers to the mandatory prayers that are done 5 times a day and connect the worshipper with God. Now, these 5 prayers are Al-Fajr, Al-Zuhr, Al-Asr, Al-Maghrib, and then there's Al-Isha. The prayers serve as a public physical evidence of the believer's devotion to Islam. Prayers are led by a person who knows the Quran and is generally chosen by the congregation. But it doesn't mean that a person has to attend a mosque to pray. Muslims can pray anywhere, and prayers are done at dawn, midday, late afternoon, sunset, and nightfall. These 5 prayers contain verses of the Quran, and they're said in Arabic. Prayers are to be made in the direction of the Kaaba, which is located in Mecca, Saudi Arabia. Now, one important fact is that missing a prayer is considered to be a serious thing for devout Muslims, but circumstances do sometimes come up where prayer times are missed. So according to Islamic tradition, Muslims should make up their missed prayers as soon as they can, or at least recite the missed prayers as part of the next regular prayer time. The next pillar is zakat, or charity. Charitable giving is the 3rd pillar, and every Muslim is obligated to pay a portion of his or her wealth for the benefit of the poor and needy. The amount is traditionally set at 2.5% of the value of all liquid assets and income generating properties of an individual, and is used to feed the poor, encourage conversion to Islam, as well as support those devoting themselves to God's work and any other suitable cause. This actually stems from the Quran. The Quran specifies 8 categories of people to whom the zakat may be given to, and that's in Surah 9 verses 60. They should be given to poor people who have few belongings, the destitute people who don't have anything at all, also zakat collectors for their work in collecting and distributing zakat, Muslim converts who may need some help as they figure out what they're going to do next with their newfound faith. Zakat can be given to slaves as well to free them from slavery, as well as to people in debt to help them get out of their debt. Those working in the path of Allah, like soldiers fighting a war to defend the Muslim community, for instance, as well as wayfarers, who are people that may be stranded as they travel. Now, the next pillar to look at is Psalm, which is fasting. Now, during the holy month of Ramadan, Muslims are expected to fast from dawn until sundown and staying away from food, drinks, sexual relations with their partners. People who are sick, elderly, and even women who are menstruating or pregnant or nursing are allowed to actually break the fast, provided that they make up an equal number of days later on in the year. Although fasting is beneficial for the health, the Quran advocates fasting as a method of self-purification and self-restraint, to seek nearness to Allah, to practice being patient, as well as to learn the hardships faced by less fortunate people so we can be more sympathetic and empathetic towards others. The next pillar that Muslims follow is Hajj, which is a pilgrimage. Now, the pilgrimage to Mecca, Hajj, is an obligation for those who are physically and financially able to do so. Regardless, there are over 2 million people who go to Mecca each and every single year from all parts of the world. The annual Hajj begins in the 12th month of the Islamic lunar calendar. Now, the rites of Hajj include going around the Kaaba 7 times and going 7 times between the hills of Safa and Marwa, the woman who gave birth to Ishmael, the prophet Abraham's son. Now, a very interesting fact about this: officials distributed 14 million liters, which is equivalent to 3.7 million gallons of mineral water from Zamzam, which is a well in Mecca, which provides natural spring water to millions of Muslim pilgrims who visit each year. Now, the Zamzam water is distributed by the cup in the pilgrimage areas. It's also distributed in small and medium-sized water bottles, as well as in large 20-liter containers for pilgrims to carry home with them, which works out to be like 3 million water bottles in total. Alright guys, so that was a brief inside look into the 5 pillars of Islam and some surprising and interesting facts as well we took a look at. So let me know your thoughts and comments down below. And also remember my question at the beginning that I asked. Let me know some of your daily rituals as well. One of mine is I have to read several pages of a physical book, can't be an ebook, and it's got to be related to business or personal development. But regardless of what you do daily, I hope it contributes to bringing you peace and a prosperous life. Alright guys, so before you head out, check out this other related video right here. Just tap that annotation, it'll take you to it. You can also follow me on social media. Those links are below in the video description section. And if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button and ring that bell. That way you'll join the FTD Facts family and you'll be notified of our new videos. So come back here each and every single day. We post daily and I can't wait to see you in the next episode.